I'd like to welcome back into the studios Nikki Wesley of Metroland Papers, and of course it's Thursday, so the papers are in everyone's homes today. One of a very interesting story I'd like to touch on is the human trafficking. And you think of human trafficking, you think of big cities, but not so here.
That's right. Alexandra Heck of the Independent Free Press has written a story about human trafficking in Georgetown and Milton and throughout Halton, and it's much more prevalent than I think we'd like to think. And it's detailing that it's not just sex workers, it's also forced labor, but also it's got a really good explanation and almost warning of how some of these young women are sort of roped in through social media, through just people preying on what they see on social media. So that's something to be aware of, and especially for the younger women.
A very good informational stories, especially for parents, right?
Absolutely.
At this time. Now, obviously, a story that everyone cares about is the postal workers' strike, and you took it one step further, not just the strike, but the fact that your bills may not be coming, but they still have to be paid.
That's right. So we have two stories this week. One about the actual strike itself and what they're looking for and what they're trying to obtain. But also, John Bakila of the Burlington Post wrote a story about what the city of Burlington is doing to try and negate any negative postal strike delays of your bills and or payments. So whether it's you have property taxes that are due, or maybe you have something for Parks and Rec, this story outlines all of the different ways that you can pay for them. Also mentions that if the city is indebted to you, you need to make sure that they have your invoice, because obviously they won't pay you if they don't have your invoice either. So it's sort of, it's a good one. And also it just mentions that there are more than just City Hall that you can go to. Save yourself that trip to City Hall. And of course, if you haven't signed up for online billing, now might be a good time. Save some trees,
Absolutely.
Save a trip.
Can't believe I didn't ever have online banking back in college or back in my early life, because it's so helpful. And of course, you have to pay the bills even though there's a strike.
That's right.
And of course, this weekend is Remembrance Day, and that must take up a big section of your paper.
Yes, so we've got this week in the Burlington Post as well, we've got this Aldershot high school students go out to the cemetery in Aldershot and lay a poppy. It's called No Stone Left Alone. And so here you can see them all lined up by veterans' graves, and they make sure that they're all recognized in lieu of Remembrance Day. Also across the board on Inside Halton, and then also in your local paper, if you're new to the area or you just haven't made it out to a remembrance ceremony, we've got the details of where you can attend a Remembrance Day ceremony.
Excellent. I hope the weather holds up for everybody going out to give their respects. Thank you, Nikki. And of course, if you want to send a story into Metroland Media, there are the details up on our screen, and enjoy happy reading this weekend.